Hi, I'm talking today to Hannah Foxley. Hannah is a UK women's wealth financial expert. Hi Hannah, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Hannah, the first thing I'd like to talk about today is, why do you think that most women are so afraid to deal with their money?
From my experience, most women don't feel particularly confident around their finances. And the problem in the UK is that most financial advisors are men. So women don't generally feel very comfortable talking to men about their financial needs. So sadly, they stick their heads in the sand and hope that it will all work out and be okay. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So I think that's probably the main fear. I think they worry that men are going to make them feel silly. And just there's a disconnect between men's attitude towards money and women's attitude towards money. Money for women is a much more emotive subject, and they feel less confident, and men don't genuinely tend to understand that. So I think that's where the problem lies.
If I am young and fit, surely I shouldn't have to worry about planning for illnesses and things like that.
Those were the thoughts that I had when I was a little bit younger and still, fit and healthy, and there's no illness in my family. I'll be absolutely fine. Sadly, at the age of 33, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I had no protection in place at all. Even though I'm a financial planner and I should have known better, I thought, as every other woman does, that it wouldn't happen to me, and it did. And I had to work through my treatment. So I had to work through chemotherapy, through my operations, through radiotherapy, which was absolutely awful, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So it's vital that women get themselves protected financially. It's the younger you take out policies, the cheaper it is as well.
What do you think are the two most important covers that a woman should have?
The two most important covers for sure are critical illness cover and income protection. Critical illness cover will pay a lump sum if you're diagnosed with a critical illness. So, for example, when I was diagnosed with my breast cancer, if I'd had a critical illness cover, it would have paid out a lump sum. And with that lump sum, I could have paid off my mortgage, other debts, and if I'd taken enough cover, I could have had an extra lump sum over and above that, which would have meant I could have done some nice things, gone on holiday, and just treated myself while I was going through these awful treatments. The income protection would have paid me a monthly income, which would have obviously covered all of my bills and outgoings and allowed me to just rest and get on with coping with my treatment rather than having to worry about working and keeping the roof over my head.
What would you say to women who say that money is tight right now, so maybe I'll wait a few years?
That was exactly what I said to myself, and I can say to you wholeheartedly that actually you can't afford not to have it. So have a real good look at your finances and think about what you really spend on the essentials and what money you fritter away on things. Because as women, we all do it. We £10 here, £20 there, and it all adds up. But if you really think about that, and rather than wasting that money on coffees and whatever else, you spend that on protecting yourself, it's something that you won't regret. Because if you do sadly end up in the situation that I did, that if I'd had that protection in place, the relief it would have given me would have been immense. I suffered a lot of stress while I was dealing with my treatment because of my worry around money.
If I'm not covered and I do get ill, can I not then take out cover?
Unfortunately not, no. Once you've been ill, particularly if you've had something as serious as cancer, it's pretty much impossible to get any sort of cover afterwards. You won't get any critical illness cover, and you'll find it difficult to get any income protection for many years. So you can't take it out afterwards. And also the problem is, once you've had any illness, the cost of any policy is astronomical. So definitely not, no.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
No problem at all.